Hey everybody, welcome to Houdini Hangout. We're starting off the year with some more Houdini. It's nice to have you here. Hopefully you're all doing well and your week's been going well as well. I've said well too much. Hopefully everybody's doing great. Hey, how's it going? Oh, I've got some audio coming through on my end there, so give me a second. I'm gonna mute that so I'm not hearing everybody's messages in Discord. Yeah. Hey Cammy. Hello, VFX. Nice elbow cough. Should I cough in my elbow? I'm not sure. Not sure what that what that is. Hopefully everybody's doing well, having a great start to the year, beginning of January. Oh, thanks. My hair was just really bad. I was out walking the dog and I put a beanie thing on, and just my hair's a mess. So I figured, well, been wearing my headphones all day and stuff. So, you kind of know when my hair's bad when, what's left of my hair is bad when I've got the hat on. So, yeah. Thank you though. I do like it. I have two different Houdini hats, but the other one's has been through a bit more. I've taken it on hikes and stuff like that, so it's a little bit more gross. Excuse me. Anyways, so what are we doing tonight? We're going to do an ice growth effect. Mark Engel had suggested that on the Discord server, and we'll take a look at that in a little bit as far as like what exactly it is that we're going to be doing. But I have a couple different ideas of how we'll kind of go about building it and making it. I did play around with it a little bit already, just because I was like, I think I have an idea. And so I just kind of did a little thing, and it seemed like it worked out okay. So I think it'll be good. But there's a million ways to do everything. And so, maybe if we have other suggestions and things like that, we might do a couple different takes on it, things like that. So that's going to be the plan for this evening, and it should be fun. Hopefully, it'll be just a good overall, little project here. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So if you guys have any questions or thoughts, ideas, things that you'd would do better or differently, feel free to throw those in the chat. I'm always open to having people give little updates or thoughts or corrections or whatever as we go through this, because I don't know everything. So it's nice to have other people around and giving suggestions and thoughts and things like that. So always happy to have your comments and thoughts as we go through this project. And if you guys have any questions, or I haven't explained what I'm doing to some reasonable extent, you can always drop those questions in the chat. There's no dumb questions when you're working with Houdini. So feel free to ask any questions you can think of, and happy to stop and try to clarify anything, because I always say if you're having that question, probably somebody else is too. So you're helping out other people too by just asking the question. So that's always my little disclaimer before we get started. But that's kind of the rules around here. So the other thing too is I've changed a couple things around over the kind of winter break. And if you hear or see anything weird or that's acting strange, please let me know. I know that Twitch has been having some issues and things like that. So I'm not 100% sure what the deal is there. I'm actually going to check that real quick while I'm talking here. Yep, cool. That's really great. I don't understand that. I guess I need to look into that. Okay. Anyways. That is unfortunate. Let me see here. I am going to probably just turn that off because it doesn't really make sense to have that going. And we'll just leave that as it is right now. Okay. So anyways, so if you see or hear anything weird going on, please let me know. Microphone. I've got some background music now. different things like that. So if you hear or see anything, please drop that in the chat. But with all of that said, I'd say we can jump over and start doing some Houdini stuff. So let's do it. All right. So what are we going to do? What's the see it, say it. Oh, that's a great reference. If you don't know the see it, say it sorted reference, that is a UK specialty when you're on the trains in the UK, which is just fantastic. And I have some family there, so I've been to the UK a few times pretty recently. So that's a good one. I like that. All right, let's pull up the video that's kind of the reference that we have here. I think we're going to keep this muted here, but we'll take a look at this. This was what Mark had posted. And let's just take a look at this little video here. So yeah, I mean, again, it's nothing earth-shattering or crazy, but just how can we go about doing some interesting, some interesting kind of ice growth effects, and what will that exactly entail or look like? So there's a few different ways we could maybe go about doing this, and we'll attempt a few of them and see what we can come up with here. So yeah, that is kind of the little example that they have there, a couple GIFs and things like that. But this was the suggestion. So we'll use that as reference, and we can always come back to it and take a look as we go. All right, cool. Well, let's minimize that, and we can get started here. So I think what I'm going to do is just use just some text, just some generic text that we'll have, and that'll be kind of our base for this. Let's make a geometry node here. I'm going to make a few different objects. I'll do a geo, and we'll just call this text. Let me grab the color. Cool. And if you're doing any text type stuff, you're going to be using a font node. You could also use the MOPS typography if you have a MOPS Plus account. So that's kind of a nice way to do it, and you can get that. You can get some text really quickly, which is nice. So your call, whatever you want to do. The cool thing about this is that this is actually now kind of properly packed and ready to work in MOPS, which is neat. So your different text characters and stuff like that can just work with the all the different deformers and things like that. So but let's just do this our own way here, and we'll actually, you know what, maybe I will just use this. Let's see here. Let's fuse distance, bevel. This is just, oh yeah, we're getting the same issue anyways, so that's okay. All right, cool. Let's just do this. All right, so let's just say we'll do something like, let's see here, sorry. The music is a bit annoying. Okay, interesting. Maybe it was just that song was annoying, or just in general. Be curious what the all right, so here we go. Let's take a look at a bit too loud. Let me see. Maybe like that. That might be a little better. No, it's cool. I appreciate it. Appreciate the feedback. Okay. So let's take a look at this. So let's change this to say ice growth like that. And then some of the stuff that happens with these fonts is that they get a bit dense in some of these spots here. So, you could just do like a resample if you wanted to, because you kind of don't really need them to be quite that much. But the resample can make it a little bit funky. So what I actually did was I found an remove inline points. Just did this, and that seemed like it helped a little bit. Let's see if I just kind of, not like that. Gotta go a little bit, maybe more like something like that. And then we have like still a decent number of points, but you know, not too crazy. So maybe, I don't know, something like that's good. Cool. All right, so then we'll do a poly extrude, give some thickness to these. And let's see here. We'll do a distance of, I don't know. Hey, Zach, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. It's pretty good. 0.125. It's a nice round number. All right, let's do a match size here. Sorry, I'm just going to shift myself a little. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm actually doing this all at a new desk too. Well, not a new desk. It's the same desk I've had, but I used to record over there. And now I'm at this desk. There's two desks in this office because my wife works here. So got a new mic arm and a bunch of things. So it's like still trying to get used to everything here. So I got it for free because I got some other audio stuff. So I wasn't just out there spending money for fun. Cool. Okay. So ice growth, we've got that there. Maybe we do a poly bevel and we use that. And one of the interesting things that you can kind of do here, I don't really need too much of a bevel, but maybe just a little bit. We'll round it, give it a couple divisions. I'm gonna turn these points off. And one thing you can actually do is you can stop them actually when they get past a certain point. So you can make it so that you're not like that these, if it hits a place where it's like got a sharp limit or something like that, it'll stop it from continuing. Like the distance won't actually do anything. So it's a way to kind of give yourself some forced limits kind of. So yeah, anyways, might be helpful for you. Another thing too, we should ignore our flat edges and maybe do those to like 45 degrees. The other thing actually that might be helpful is to only do it. Oh, that's maybe a little too sharp there. Oh, hold on a sec. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, maybe we'll do it like that. Okay. Yeah, obviously, since everything's kind of procedural here, we're changing things and stuff's adjusting as we go. All right. So shoot, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. So let's instead do this. Let's do a group. I was doing this last week and doing some edges and I like couldn't remember to turn that off. Not random chance by edges, minimum. And we'll set that to like, I don't know, at least 45. It's probably good. Let's do 60. And we'll maybe just call this like hard edges because I think I'm going to resample this at a certain point and we can keep that hard if we want to. Actually, it doesn't matter because we're beveling it, but whatever. We just did it. We did it. So here we are. So we'll just do it on the hard edges and then that way we're controlling it. But anyways, okay. So we've got our text here set up. Now, what I'm thinking I want to do is have some sort of attribute that kind of tells this system that we're going to build how to kind of come up and like get added into the effect basically. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use this as the main text, right? So this will be a null here. And then we can just say out text. Cool. And then within the ice growth effect itself, we can actually maybe give ourselves some intermediary like text, some kind of like intermediate text that will have more points that we can then put the attributes across and have those effects kind of flow around and stuff like that. So that's my idea of what we're going to do. So let's take this and let's see here. All right, let's do another geometry node here, and we will call this one. Maybe we'll just. So I'm gonna try something here. I just thought about this. I was like, I should probably name anything that's like not a sim, like effects. So we'll do that. Effects. We'll call this simple ice growth if I can type properly, and I'm gonna make that blue. So let's go inside here. We'll do an object merge and grab our geotext there. Hey, Cami, how's the audio level? I know you were saying it was a bit loud before. How's it sound now? I'd be curious to hear. Great. Glad to hear. All right. I have this really cool thing. So I have like 2 audio mixes now. So I have one for me and one for everybody listening. So it's kind of neat. I can like change my mix. I can change your mix. I can do all sorts of stuff, which is very fun, very different. Okay, so let's do this. Get text, geo, and that red. Okay, so now we've got our text geometry here, and cool. Let's do what I was talking about. Let's do a remesh on this. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do a fast remesh. So this lab's fast remesh is pretty cool because it can do remeshing based on the 3D connectivity and the UV maps, basically. So it segments the geometry and then does the remeshes that way on each segment kind of simultaneously. So it's much faster. So big shout out to the lab's fast remesh. It's cool. However, we don't have a UV attribute on this, and I don't really have any interest in UVing this. So I'm just going to switch this over to 3D. And I think what's going to happen now is that the connectivity is going to be each of these individual pieces. So we should see, you know, a good, I don't know, 5-6 times increase because we're going to be able to parallel, you know, sample all of these. But that's what's going on here and kind of how this is working. So let's see here. Whoop, what did I do? I went into crazy world there. All right, let's see here. Okay, maybe like that is good. And then we can do some, now this doesn't have any smoothing on it by default. And I think if you were smoothing with the UV islands, that could mess you up. It could actually pull them apart, but because we're dealing with, you know, individual pieces of geometry, it shouldn't matter at all. So let's just see here. We're just gonna give this a little bit of smoothing. I think that's like the default smoothing amount in the remesh. You could always check here. 0.1. So it's a little more. It's 0.2. So that's okay. That's good. So we've got it like that. I do want to make this a little smaller. So maybe we'll do it like that. And really the reason I'm doing it this way is I want to have more points where we can have these attributes kind of flow across and more even as well. And that's going to allow us to be able to kind of animate these attributes across these meshes. So that's my idea there. So we have this fast remesh. And let's build up our actual ice, you know, growth effect, basically our little setup here. So I'll just say, give myself a null here just in case I need this. We'll call this remeshed text. And I'm just gonna organize these. Oh yeah, I don't have my little key press thing on here on this computer. I have to get that. Anyways, okay, so we have our remesh text. Let's do a VDB from polygons, and this will start building this SDF surface for us. And I think, let's see, where do we want to go with this? Well, that's not even very much. Let's see. I just kind of want to get it to like a reasonable place. So as I'm doing this, I'm kind of watching the voxel number here, taking a look at the, you know, kind of the resolution of the actual text, like how much detail I'm getting out of it. That's probably good. I mean, this is going to be for, you know, the ice stuff anyways. So this isn't something that we need to worry about too much there. Yeah, that should be good. I think that'll be a good amount. So this is going to be our surface. And then what we should be able to do here is, let's see here. We need to add some noise into this, obviously, to start making it something that's a bit more, you know, icy and kind of rough, right? So we need to add some noise to this SDF because right now it's just smooth. So let's do this. Let's do an SDF noise. So this is a volume SDF noise, and this should work on VDBs just fine. So we'll put this in here. And we can see that we're starting to get some noise added to this. And these are pretty big kind of noises that are being added, and we can always change the amount here. I probably don't want to slide that actually. So let's do this, and we can just kind of see what's going on slowly here. And so SDFs are strange, right? Because it's a 0 to 1 value saying the distance to the surface. And then it's wherever that's crossing kind of the 0.5 value should be where you see that ISO surface being visualized. So there's a little bit of weirdness there where it's like adding noise into that field can make some weird stuff happen. Like you can see here that these are like really like crunching down and doing some weird stuff. So there's certainly some things you need to kind of keep in mind with all of this, or, you know, just be mindful of, you know, how this is working. So the one thing that I'm going to do before I kind of keep going with this noise amount here, let's maybe turn this down a little more. We could maybe do this positive. Oh, no. See, that's also not working either. Because again, we're dealing with like 0 to 1 values and things like that. So we'll go back to the 0 centered. And so what I need to do here, and what I think is kind of the best way to go about this, is to actually expand this a little bit and push the kind of this SDF outwards a little bit so that we get a little bit more ability to kind of cover this whole thing in this rougher kind of ice setup. So let's do that. Let's do a SDF. You can just type in SDF. We want to do an SDF reshape. And this is where we can do things like dilate and erode and things like that. And so dilate makes it bigger, erode makes it smaller. And so what I'm going to do is actually change this over to world space units and go way down with this, just so that if we change anything with because normally the offset is in number of voxels, but if we change anything with the resolution, that'll change how much we're dilating or eroding this. So just trying to keep it kind of within a reasonable amount overall. And you can see here, we're going to grow that out a little bit. And so as we do this, we're going to have, you're going to see that this is obviously going to push this out a little bit, and we're going to have a little bit more, values here to work with. Now, interestingly, I think I might actually want to do a smooth there because we're getting some weirdness there. So maybe if I do an SDF smooth, let's see if that does anything for us here. Yeah, it does a little bit. Yeah, there we go. We just want to make sure that we're not getting these weird kind of pointy areas there. It's just a little strange. Let's see here. Can we do 0.4? Yeah, we're getting some connection between them now, so we need to be careful with that. So maybe 0.25. will get us in a good spot. We're almost there. Okay, there we go. We actually have these connected together, so that's kind of interesting. So we've got, you know, some little pieces that are sticking out here, which is kind of neat. Let's see. What if we change this to 0.5? What does that look like? That's a little bit too rough for the kind of... So I want to do a couple different scales of like noise here. So I think what I'm going to do is have one value here. In fact, I'm going to bring this back a little bit because I want to see maybe if I can get a little bit more of this peeking out here. So let's just see. That's too much. Yeah, maybe like that. And we'll have some text that's peeking out there a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Cool. And then I'm just going to say low frequency noise. And then we'll make another one of these and we'll have it be a little bit more high frequency noise just to give us a little bit of visual interest there. I think we should be okay. Hey, Fractaler, how's it going? Greetings. Nice to see you. Let's see here. So we'll do 0.2 and let's see. Do we want to renormalize? Maybe that's the problem there. Sorry. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We don't want to deactivate and renormalize just yet, I don't think. I think we want to leave it off for that one, and then we can do it down here. I think what that's doing is kind of re-initializing some of these values and deactivating certain voxels. And actually, you know what? We should probably give ourselves a little bit more band voxels here. Let's do this. Let's do world space. And yeah, certainly we could give ourselves a little bit more. Maybe we'll do 0.5 and 0.5 like that. Or we can just do 0.1. Didn't seem like that grew at all. Maybe we fill the interior as well, just to make sure that we're in a good spot there. I wonder if turning these back on will still freak it out. Yep. Again, like I said, remember an SDF surface like isn't really a geometric surface. It's just kind of showing you where a certain field is going past this set value, this value threshold. So that's why you can get some of these weird artifacts with an SDF like that. And so these post processes here, I think, are trying to fix it for when you're kind of done doing your edits. But I think as you're doing a couple different noises like this, you don't want to be, I think, deactivating and renormalizing those each time. Okay, so let's see here. I think that's too bumpy. So let's do, I don't know, 3. No, let's do 2.5. And then we need to change the amplitude down a bit so that it's not really like doing too much crazy stuff there. Yeah, and that's nice. So we went from this like smooth to now we've got kind of a nice surface there. And it's always a good idea, I feel like, to oh, that's interesting. We do have one little kind of freak out there. Let's see. How will that VDB convert? Sorry, convert VDB. I always get those backwards. Like I always think I'm like, oh, I have that. I remember the name now, and I just keep forgetting it. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Here, interesting. Let me see if I can just go a little bit further with those band voxels. Not sure if that's going to help us at all here. It doesn't seem to be mattering. Oh, interesting. that changed our... Huh. Oh, I see. I see. The band voxels are manual. So there we go. Let's make sure we're putting that at a reasonable amount. Say that's at 1. And then we'll maybe make sure that this is... Well, let's just leave that like that. See if that helps us at all. I was kind of hoping it would. Oh. Well, look at that. Band voxels for the win. Hi, Fractaler. Your test has been successful. Wonder what you're testing. All right. That looks good. Great. Hey, Wallasaurus. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Okay, cool. So we've got some ice growth here. This is all looking good. Okay, great. So what we should do is keep this as an SDF. I don't think we want to convert it back into a VDB or into a like an actual geometry surface here. So this is going to be... Oh, no worries. No worries. No worries, Fractaler. Glad that things are working out for you and everything's fine. All right. Okay, so we've got this. Let's just put a null down just to kind of keep track of what we're doing here. This is going to be our ice SDF. Cool. And this is our input text here, so we can see kind of where that'll come through and where we won't see it. So there we go. You can see it kind of peeking through in a few spots, so that should be nice. Great. So we also have this, again, this remesh text, and that's what we're going to work on for kind of passing some attributes around on the surface. Actually, just curious what happens if I do this. Probably won't change very much at all. Yeah. Okay, I can just do that. That's fine. Because then we don't have to deal with any of the remeshed. It's just VDBs right from that geometry. Anyways, okay. So the first thing I think we could maybe give a shot is doing like a simple like mops kind of fall off type thing, and doing that. So I'm going to use the mops tools for that just because why not? It's kind of a nice thing that's built in here. And we should be able to make that work pretty well. So let's do that. Let's just do mops shape fall off. Oh, that's right. Forgot it like aired out weirdly like that. Okay. What is this one again? I can't remember what this is. Is this for actual volumes? Okay, this is for actual volumes. Cool. Well, we could maybe try that a little bit later because that would work. But obviously you'd need mops to be able to do that. So maybe we could try that in a little bit later. Okay, so we've got our shape fall off here. Let's preview the fall off, and we are going to do this. Yeah. So let's set it like so. Yep, there we go. Turn that off. Great. And we could kind of do something like this, maybe. Just have it go across at a little bit of an angle. Just move this. I mean, it doesn't really matter where it is. It's linear. Okay, So maybe we'll just do that. Put a key for the translation. And then, oh gosh, I don't know. Maybe we'll only do it on like, no, 240 is fine. I don't want to go too quick with this. Let's bring it up to 192. Just do that. Translation. There we go. Got a little growth across it. Oh, cool. What course have you been watching, Fractaler? Is it the refining one? The refining Karma renders? Hopefully that's been cool. Thank you for the kind words. That's very nice. Some actual work stuff there. Cool. Nice. Nice. Glad it's been helpful. I've been trying to learn a lot of rendering stuff for all these courses that I've been doing. So I've got one more rendering course coming out, and I'm working on a little Copernicus course right now too. So those should be out sometime in the next few months, I'm guessing. Maybe the one probably should be out in the next couple months, but yeah, anyways. All right, back to this. So we've got that going there. Oh, cool. Well, that's great. Glad you could join live. I know the time zone isn't always great for everybody, but it's kind of the best time I've got because it's like done with work, take the dog for a walk, eat real quick, and jump on here. So yeah, hopefully it's not too late for you. I know some people it's crazy late for, but yeah, anyways, glad to have you. So let's do maps fall off. Let's maybe add the noise fall off in. I think that'll be good, right? And we can, what is it? Overlay. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not quite midnight yet. Let's see here. So preview that and let's increase the resolution of it. Maybe, oh, that's too much. What am I doing? Okay, let's see that. Yeah, that works. Oh, I see. It's wait. Oh, I saw the 00 and I was like 0038 and I was like, wait, you're a half hour plus a few hours difference from me? How's that working? Although I do know there are some places where it's like that. But anyways. All right, so we added the noise fall off. I put it in overlay mode so that we get this nice little thing like, you know, like that. I don't think if we have it in multiply that works, right? Yeah, because that just adds noise into everything else. Divide. Oh, I guess that sort of works. Screen, no. Sorry, I'm just seeing which. Yeah, I think overlay is the best. And I could probably actually scale this down a little bit in the z-axis and just have it be a little, maybe we'll do like 0.8. Then we'll have like a little bit nicer. West Coast of North America. I didn't know we had many West Coast folks. That was always my biggest concern was like, I can't do this like too early for the West Coast because I was just thinking that people in the US would watch my stream, if anything. And now there's a lot more people, not that much more people watching it live, but there's more people that might be interested in watching it live. So it's yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so we've got that set up across there with the fall off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this mops fall off. I'm just going to do a rename, an attribute rename. And we're just going to go from mops fall off to p scale. We're going to use this as a p scale. And I'm going to say volume from, nope, VDB from, and we'll do VDB from particles. And what I'm going to do is basically set the scale of these particles based on the scale of our points, right? So we can actually have these little spheres kind of set up and going across our mesh and kind of growing as this animates across. So let's give this a shot. See how this works. I think it should work okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a reference here between these, paste a relative reference there. And that should work. Yeah, cool. I mean, obviously we're getting a lot of voxels here. And the longer this goes, the more voxels we have. How many voxels do we have over here? Oh, that seems like, oh, it changed because I filled the interior. No, that's interesting. Don't know if I need that many. Might be. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm making more. Yeah, that's probably good. I mean, this doesn't need to be super detailed, stuff. And I can turn the point radius scale down. Let's do this maybe 0.1. Yeah, I think probably 0.1 will be the best. So this is going to be, let's do a null here and we'll just call this like our mask SDF, I guess. I mean, it's technically called surface. So, we're all good there. But we've got this and, yeah, so we've got this kind of like interesting front edge to it. We could also smooth that a little bit if we wanted to, like, yeah. So let's see here. So let's do an SDF combine. Intersect. What is it called? A VDB combine? That's what it is, VDB combine. So we'll do that as the A VDB, and then we'll do this as the B VDB. And then that should now... Yep. So we're basically masking off our initial VDB using this. So let's take a look at what this looks like here as we kind of let this go. I'm gonna, sorry, brain fart. Let's just do that. Apparently I haven't run mplay yet on this computer, on this version, I should say. Yeah, so this is a fairly simplified version of it, right? Like this isn't anything all that interesting. It's just kind of going across. We could smooth that out a little bit too, maybe, and give ourselves a little bit better sort of smoothness to the surface. The other thing too is oh, interesting. Let's just stop that. There we go. How far does this go before it's like all the way done? Oh, that's weird. Yeah, where's my animation? Oh, right, because I changed the scale of it. That's right. So let's do this. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it goes past a little bit just because I scaled this down. So let's do this. Let's take this. kind of, there we go. Just tighten it up a little bit. Cool. Okay. So not super interesting, but it's something. And like I said, maybe what we could do is we could SDF smooth. In fact, what I'm going to do is do a reshape. I'm not going to do world space units for this. I'm going to do this in actual voxels just so I can keep these sort of linked together. And what you do in a lot of these like surfacing operations is you could you basically dilate, smooth, erode. You can get a little bit of a smoother result. That's like what some of the fluid remeshing stuff does. So I'm going to give that a shot, see how that works. I'm just going to copy this and paste the relative reference there. Cool. Just out of curiosity, let's see what the difference here is. Yeah, that's a bit better. So let's just see what that looks like just for fun. Let's see here. Let's go to 192 just so I can kind of center this up a bit. Cool. All right. Yeah, I feel like that's already looking a bit nicer. Not quite as like weirdly flickery. The other thing is I might have turned off the interior of that. So I'll go and take a look at that in a second. Not that it really probably makes that big of a difference, but I think that'll be better. I just wrote over that one. That's okay. Yeah, it's probably a little too fast, but that's okay. We're not gonna worry too much about it. Got a little... So this is kind of the simple version of it, right? We're not doing anything too crazy here. Just got a little bit of kind of growth happening. There we go. Cool. Let's do that. And I'm actually going to throw a camera in here. Hey, VFX. Nice to have you on the stream. I'll throw a camera there just so we can have that. All right, let's unlock that. And the other thing I wanted to check was, no, I kept it on. Okay, cool. So if we did that, now we have our surface. We can do a VDB. Again, always do it the wrong way because everything's VDB for some reason. And then this one is the other way, VDB convert. And there we go. You can sort of see how these meshes are going to be built there. Cool. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. And we could do more stuff maybe to like rough those up if you wanted to. Maybe the edges should be more jagged or sharp or whatever. But, you know, for right now, we'll just kind of leave this as is and just say out ice geo there. Cool. All right. Great. That is going to be kind of our first simple ice growth, and there you can see it on the actual text as well. So maybe if we do, let's see, actually I'm going to do this. I'm going to color this maybe like a really dark gray, something like that. And then we can do this as, don't know, maybe like a light bluish color. Yeah, just like a nice light color like that. Cool. And then let's just hit play here and see what happens. Give ourselves a second. Let that kind of naturally grow onto it. Yeah, and then we've got the, the little parts of this underneath geometry sticking through because we used that noise and kind of watched it as we were adjusting it, and that should give us the look of that being, where we can see some little edges and things like that, sticking through the ice. Some more on some letters, less on others, and that's kind of the idea. So yeah, let's see here. Let's play this. That was weird. I guess I forgot to make a new sequence, but that's okay. So yeah, there we go. Just a very simple little effect here. But I think there's a lot more that we can do and kind of make this a little bit more interesting rather than it just being kind of a left to right kind of animation. I think we can make this a bit more interesting. So yeah, that's the next thing we're gonna do. We're gonna try to do it where we have each letter kind of growing individually, and then we can adjust that more procedurally than even, than we would have with this, where we're like animating and doing that. And obviously this works and is a great way of kind of controlling it. But if you wanted to do a little bit more procedurally, that might be something you'd be interested in as well. So let's do that. We'll make a new thing here. Okay, cool. So let's stop that and let's make a copy here because I don't think we're going to need to redo everything. So we'll make a copy of this geometry. Okay. We'll do that. And we can keep the same ice like SDF shape and things like that. But the thing that we're going to change is how this is controlled here. So let's give ourselves a little bit of room because I have a feeling we're going to do a bit more stuff here. So let's see. We'll just leave this as it is. But what I want to do is find a point on each of these because what we're going to do is we're going to do the distance along geometry. So we can use this and it'll give us the distance along a piece of geometry. So if we say start point is 0 and we try to visualize distance, we should be able to see that that now has some distance. However, it really won't be able to, let's go into here, to there, let's say auto. And it's only going to actually be able to figure out the distance for this one piece here because 0.0, I'm guessing, is on that somewhere. Oh, gosh. Anyways, doesn't really matter, but point one's on there somewhere. And so that is only able to do that. So we need start points that are going to go, there's going to be one per each of these. So that should be fairly easy to do. We will just use a for each, and we'll say for each connected piece. And we can do it like that. And now we should have each of these individually. And if we look at this, if we do a single pass here and just pick a random letter, these should all be pretty randomized. There's not really like an order to these. It's probably a little difficult to see with that. Let me see if I go to the gray. Yeah, it's probably a little easier to read on here. So you can see, I mean, we got 701 here, 1250, 691. So these are pretty much randomized already. We could do some sorting and do a point sort and just say random. Throw this in here again if we wanted to, just to give it even more randomness. But it's already pretty random. So, I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick the 0th point in each of these. So let's just do group. So we're just going to make a group where we call these start points like that. These are going to be points. We're going to select just 0. And now we should have 1 for each of these pieces of geometry. I'll turn this off and we can take a look at here, turn on our start points there. Now we can see the different points on these geometries that we're going to grow from. And so now we're actually going to be able to do this and have some interesting looking growth patterns. Fractaler's asking, you're adding randomness to make the effect appear randomly based on point number. Sort of, yeah. I'm giving it I haven't really gotten to any of that stuff yet. But what I'm doing right now is basically the like, where is this ice going to start from? And then it's going to grow along the surface from that point. Sorry if that came through, that bling noise. My apologies. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to be where the actual effect is starting from on each letter. So we were able to kind of give it a starting point to work from. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the distance along geometry. Yeah, that's right. Wallosaurus. That's exactly right. It's kind of like, didn't hear anything. Great. I was like, I thought you meant you didn't hear anything from my from my voice or something. I was like, oh no. Okay, so this is where we're going to be going. We're going to start from the start points here, and we're going to go along the surface here. I think you could also do it by edge. There's probably very little difference between these, so yeah, we'll just do it on the surface. And so now we're going to have this kind of grow out randomly in all these directions, right? So that's going to work out really nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do this in a different. So I love this attribute called fade, or this node called fade. I think it's really cool for doing like procedural animation. And so I'm going to use that here because I think it's a really fun one to mess around with. And for some reason, I don't always see a lot of people using it, which is fine, whatever. But I just think it's really cool. You can take this type of an animation and kind of turn it into something a little bit different. So, and that's what we're going to try to do. So, yeah, fade's a cool one. Just type in fade, attribute fade. So basically what we need, since we have this distance attribute here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it. I'm going to use just an attribute adjust integer, and convert from this float attribute into a range of starting frame values for what frame this attribute is going to start at. And you'll see kind of how this works in a second, but I'm going to do an attribute adjust integer. And so we can start with the pattern type being a remap attribute. We're going to be remapping from distance. And the range, we can just compute that. So it's going to be from 0 to 898. This is going to be different depending on how you randomize these and, what the furthest distance is, blah, blah, blah. But for right now, that should just work fine. And what I'm going to do is call this start frame like so. And if you visualize this, it's a really weird visualization because it's an integer. So it doesn't really visualize very nicely. And it makes these kind of weird, like stripy patterns. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, what are the start frames I want for this animation to go? So the first frame, obviously we have the first frame in our animation is 1 anyways. And let's just say we go from 1 to 48 here for the start frame of this. So now we get this really funky looking thing. It's not really that easy to visualize, so we'll just turn that off. It's not really doing us much good. Really, the better thing to look at is distance, because that's really going to give you a sense for like where it's going to go, right? It starts at the blue and gets to the darker like reds and oranges and things like that. So anyways, so we have this start frame attribute, and we can remap this. We can do a whole bunch of different things with it. For right now, I'll just leave it linear. Actually, you know what? Sorry, scratch that. I'm going to take these and do just a simple like that, like a monotone cubic, I think, or yeah, monotone cubic it's a nice little growth kind of thing to it. And so now there should be slower at these edge values and then get faster and then slow down. So it'll give us a little ramp. So what we get from attribute fade is kind of cool. So what we're going to see here is actually this fade attribute. And I'm going to turn this off and this off. Well, we can keep that on. That's fine. I'm going to turn on the fade attribute here. And this is just a 1 to 0 attribute. And if I hit play here, yeah, it just kind of goes crazy. We get a couple frames of fade up and a couple frames of fade down. And these are our timings right here. So if we did this, say 12 and 12, it's going to fade up for 12 frames. It's going to not hold at all. So let's say frame hold. We're going to say 24. So it'll fade up there. It'll hold, then it'll fade down. So there's our fade attribute. And the visualizing fade is just basically setting it to color. So that's why the color is changing. We can turn that off because we really don't want to adjust our color. This is actually a pretty old node, I believe. So yeah, it's a little bit more in the world of like using color to visualize than anything else, which is interesting. Anyways, so here's our fade attribute. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put this start frame in here. That's weird. Okay. That's a bug. Let's do start frame here. And so now we're going to have this like fade up basically. And I don't want there to be any fade out. So I'm going to hit 0. I want it to just fade in. And we can see here, now we've got an animation that's going to fade along, right? So now we've got this type of an animation. And we could change this. We could say fade in for a second. And each point is offset in time, so that's making it kind of grow across, right? So each point has its own start frame for that fade in and hold and all that kind of stuff. And so it gives us just this nice little animation like this to be able to kind of, work with. So yeah, that's the fade that we've got there. Now what we could actually do is probably, I'm going to try this just for fun. We'll do the mops fall off and we'll visualize that. We'll turn off. Well, we can leave the start points on so we can see those. Yeah, it's definitely a time saver, I feel like. And it's nice because like there's so many different things in here, right? There's ramps for all these things too. So like if you wanted to do something here where you're like, oh, I want these to be Bezier handles, and I want it to go like this, right? And like really do something crazy. You could do it like that, right? Like there's so much you can do here that it's kind of wild. Like there's a lot of options that you could do here. You could have it be a little tiny, like ramp in at first, and then it's like this long trail to it, all sorts of things. So lots that you can do here. And this is completely procedural, right? It allows you to make a lot of really fine adjustments without having to go back and play with keyframes and blah, blah, blah. It's not going to work for everything, but I think for things like this, it's kind of interesting. So anyways, we'll leave that. And just remember, you have two different timings, right? You have the timing of when it's going to start, and then the time, the ramp that you can control the fade, amounts. So like how the ramp is fading across like the time. Yeah, honestly, I don't see a lot of people using it because the procedural anime, I actually saw a thing at, gosh, this was a while ago. It was at a SIGGRAPH in Vancouver. I went to a presentation where a guy was literally, his whole presentation was about procedural animation. And I was just like, this is really cool. Like using attributes to like drive your animation versus like keyframes. Like a lot of people do that, but this node I feel like makes it really easy. And it's in the same kind of concepts that he was talking about. So I've just kind of always really kind of gravitated towards it. It just makes a lot of sense to me. And I'm not an animator, so for me, it's like, just makes sense. Yeah, wire up a VOP with a fit range, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's a perfectly valid way of doing it. I think this just saves you a lot of time, more or less. Oh, it's not on YouTube. It was from it was from SIGGRAPH 2018 in Vancouver. And no, I doubt it's on YouTube. It might be on their stuff. It was like a course, and God, I don't remember who it was. Hey, look at that. It's actually an attribute VOP inside. So it's really just doing the same thing, right? It's just a really nicely wrapped up package. So no, I don't remember who it was. Probably, it's funny, if I knew who it was now, I wonder if I would like recognize their name or something. Just, it was before I was really like, I was just working in the advertising world, so I didn't know as many people in the VFX world. So anyways, I think he was from Disney Animation, if I'm remembering correctly, but yeah, anyways. Okay, so we have this, and I renamed it to Mops Fall Off because I'm just thinking, if we take this noise and bring it up here, I think this is just gonna work. So let's just see here. Yep. And the Mops Fall Off, the noise part of it is just so nice because doing the overlay blend, it's just a little bit of math that you don't have to really think about, right? And so that's just, I think, a really nice little feature there. So now we've got a little bit of noise, and we could actually time vary this, I guess, too, right? So it's not just like stationary. I mean, it's probably not the smartest, the most logical thing in the world for it to be time varying, but I don't know. Maybe it's interesting. Hey, Houseplant, how's it going, man? Dude, your name makes me laugh every time. – 2018 was 8 years ago. Yeah, I know, right? Tell me about it. Yeah, it feels like it should be 3 years ago, but then that would mean we'd all be wearing masks and still be dealing with a global pandemic. So I'll take it being 8 years ago for that trade-off, I guess. So all right. Anyway, sorry. Just my brain just blanked out for a second there. So okay. Anyways, I'm just going to turn this off and just check. Yep. Remove Coco era. 4 years at least. We're in 2020. I don't know what Coco era is. Well, that's interesting. All right. So there we go. There's our growth. And then let's see here. Can we just, oh, Corona. Oh, I forgot. I even forgot that was the name of it. Man, that's crazy. All right. So let's see here. So now we've got it set to P scale. Visualizing P scale. That's weird. What am I visualizing here? What are you visualizing, dude? Oh, it's the color is changing. Oh, okay. I was like, how is it still previewing that? Cool, Wallace. Glad to have you. Thanks for joining us, even though it's late. All right, so we can just kind of port this over here, and we should now have our nice like mask set up here, right? And it can grow over these shapes and things like that. Cool. Looking good. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, just looking to see what we've got here. Yeah, so there we go. We're getting the ice kind of growing across all these different letters simultaneously, which is kind of interesting. But what if we wanted to... I have to wear a mask to hide from the hat? From my hat? I don't know what that means. I have to wear a mask to hide from the hat. I actually switched over to wearing contacts. I'm not wearing anything right now, but I used to always wear my glasses, and during all the mask stuff, I was like, I'm getting contacts. I've used them before that, but it's like, this is insane. I'm silly. Everything was all fogged up. Okay. So this is it's a crown. Yes. Corona's crown. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's actually Fractalary saying you want to buy one. I think there's a merch store on sideeffects.com if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know if there's a hat on there, but let's see. Houdini merch store. There's got to be a hat, right? Let's see here. Oh, this is the character collection. Okay. So let's see. Can we do this? Oh, hats. Wait. Hello. Look at that. We've got an embroidered hat. Or a beanie. Yeah, it's kind of on the low key like here, but it's there. Yeah, the embroidered hat is nice. It's a little different than mine, but I forget where I got this at. Actually, when did I? Oh, I got it for Mardini. That's when I got it. I got it as in 2021 Mardini. And I actually didn't wear a lot of baseball hats, so it's in pretty good condition since then. I've worn it a little bit more as I've done a little more hiking and as my hair has been getting lighter and lighter. But yeah, there you go. There's a couple cool things. You can get a logo embroidered beanie and things like that. They're pretty good prices too. I think they pretty much just do it at cost. Like it's not really like a money making thing. But there's lots of cool stuff. There's actually a flip hoodie, which is kind of cool. Like little flip embroidered hoodie. And there's I think that's a bunch of interns, and well, not all interns. Maybe, I don't know if Tom was an intern at the time, but there's a lot of fun folks there. Anyways. Yeah. Enough of oh wait, there's one more thing that's kind of cool. If you go to the vintage stuff, you can go through and see a lot of the cool stuff. I think I got this one. Yeah, I've got that one. Horizon, yeah. I got this one. Yeah, got a few different ones from here. This was actually the 2018 one at SIGGRAPH. This shirt was Be wary. Oh, you can't even order these yet. So coming soon. Anyways, be wary of those because they were, at the time at least, they were really weird. It was like my torso like didn't fit into it. So it was like, I mean, I was a little heavier at the time, but like it just, the size of this thing was a mess. So I could never really wear that. I have it somewhere, but I can't wear it. It doesn't fit in any logical way. Anyways, there you go. Houdini merch store. Oh, no problem. No problem. I love random distractions. It's fun. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes. Wanted to offset each of these. So, there's kind of a really easy way to offset these, right? Because we have our connectivity, right? And that is on the primitives. Yeah, we can just promote that to the points. That's fine. We'll do that here. We'll do an attribute promote right here. Disconnected it. Hey, reconnect. All right. So we're going to take the, what is it? Primitive class. We're going to bring it to a point attribute. Great. Now I've got our class here. So what I want to do is we can adjust our start frames with this, right? So before we get into the attribute fade, how How many people work at side effects? Ooh, that's a good question. I want to say it's over 150 with interns and stuff. It's probably between like 150 and 170, somewhere in there, maybe somewhere in that range. It goes up a little bit each year depending on what positions are being hired for and stuff like that. But yeah, in that ballpark, I think. You could probably find that information on LinkedIn. Okay. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these and we can do maybe we'll do a point wrangle, and we'll just take this, and so we're going to basically just add some multiplier to the class to the start frame. So let's do this. Let's do I at class like that, and then let's do let's see, how do we want to do this in the neatest way possible? I guess it doesn't really matter. You know, I don't know why I'm doing it like that. That's stupid. So let's say, hello, go away so people can see what I'm typing here. Let me make this a little bigger too. I add start frame equals, I'll make that a little bigger. We'll do plus equals and do I at class, and then multiply that by some factor. Maybe we'll do 24. I don't know. So it's like a second. No, not that far. Let's do 12 frames, so a half second. So each letter should now have be like, yeah, you can't see it here because it's an integer thing and it's just random colors. But that should work. So let's try this out and let's see what happens here. We need to visualize that. So and probably turn that on so it's actually playing back in real time. Yeah, mops fall off. There we go. Oh, that's really weird. This one is... Oh, that's so bizarre. That is the last... Why is that the last one to go? That's like the last class. That's really strange. Just trying to think if I could sort that. Well, what I could probably do is, let's see here. Let me just adjust it up here. So maybe if I sort the... Let me do this. Let me sort the points by X. So that should hopefully be lower over here. I think I see some low numbers there. Yeah, that seems like that will be. And then we'll do these by X as well. Hopefully those will be some lower values. Yeah, I see 0 right there. I don't know. Maybe that'll work. All right, let's see what the connectivity is. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that doesn't really tell me anything, does it? Let me do this, and I'll say, instead of color, I'll do marker. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. That 8. Great. That seems right. Awesome. So I should be able to just do that now. And if I come down here, Turn off that visualizer. And need to turn on the other visualizer. Cool. Okay. That seems to be working just fine. And then if we put the noise into it, should work as well. Cool. All right. Let's see what happens here if we turn that off. Text. Yeah. Just make a new sequence. Start that up. Take a look at how this looks. So the kind of interesting thing about this is that it doesn't only grow kind of in the forward direction, although that's the other direction for me. It can grow kind of either way, depending on where the start point is. So obviously, if you vary the start points and things like that, you're going to be able to get, different looks for it and things like that. So yeah. The last letter is the other way. Oh yeah, it starts like here and then goes this direction. Yeah. Yeah, it's just cool because like here on this W, you're going to see it go this way a little bit and this way. So you get both directions on these. So it's like, it's not just growing in one direction. So it's kind of this like randomized thing. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot more that you could do to it to refine it and get it, looking even nicer. You could maybe do some stuff to the leading edge a little bit more and just kind of, grow that in a different way. You might, it's probably a little fast, honestly. I love how the letter T, I'll have to look at it this time. Yeah, that is cool. And it's got a little connection to the W there that it kind of grows across, which is kind of weird. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so, and the nice thing here is that when you're dealing with this, there's no simulation involved, which is kind of nice. There's nothing that has to like recache. You can just go in and tweak and adjust things as you're going with it. So yeah, that's pretty much I think that's pretty much that version of the effect. Let's just do this here and we'll leave that. And I'm kind of curious about the mops thing still. So maybe we'll just play with that a little bit here as we're kind of maybe getting towards, closer to the end of the stream here. So maybe I'll take this. Actually, sorry. I'm going to take the simple ice growth. And just call this one mops ice growth. And oops, let's do it like this. There we go. All right, so let's go inside here and play around with this a little bit. So we have our ice SDF, right? And we have this shape volume fall off. Which is kind of interesting. Let's see. Can we change this to surface? Maybe this will not work. Oh. Yeah, I think I might know what's happening here. So I'm guessing this would work if it was a density VDB. Sorry. Let me think here. So if we change this to density, just out of curiosity. Oh, yeah, I gotta change this. Yep. Oh, that's cool though. Could we do a convert VDB out of this, just out of curiosity? I mean, I know what you can maybe sort of do that. Yeah, the problem is going to be that it sort of works. I mean, it's tough because you can't really do a fall off in the same way with density. It's a little different. I wonder if I could add some noise into that, just out of curiosity here. I can. Oh, you know what? There's noise in there. What a dum-dum. I could have just done that with one node instead of two. That was stupid. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, this is certainly a plausible way of doing this. Now, what we would probably want to do is take this and do a convert VDB. Hi. Leonard's making... Leonard, you trying to make your... Hi, I know. He's very excited that he's in the office. Oh, Leonard. What a goof. Anyways, so where was I? Let's see. We need to convert this over to a... Everybody says hi, Lenny. All right, so let's do an SDF to a fog. Will that work? Maybe. I don't know. Interesting. This will be curious. Oh, right. This needs to go. It's actually called surface still. Yeah, I mean, technically that's working. That's cool. Okay. That's kind of neat. Mop shape fall off volume. Nice. So we actually don't need this. And we don't need any of that. And we can just do this. I think. Hello? Oh, right. Because I don't have it animated. All right. So let's see here. All right. Let's do that. Actually, yeah, we'll just leave it that way. Cool. And let's move this back. Do it to like 12. And then maybe 120. Oh, here's the thing. I wouldn't say that you need to not buy mops because you're not going to learn something, you know, because you bought it. Like, if you look at what I'm doing here and look at what I'm using mops for, it's literally one little thing here, and it's understanding how it works kind of in the grander scheme of Houdini. Because really, in this case, I didn't even know that he had volume shape fall off stuff, so that's kind of cool. This is probably an older build too. I should probably check and update that. But it's really about just attribute adjustments, basically, and attribute processing. So I highly recommend taking a look at it. Like, it's definitely worth it. I mean, I'll just say this: I don't have it for free, and it's cool, so I like it. But yeah, it's a cool little bit of kit. So yeah, highly recommend. Good stuff. Oh, I've got 2 convert VDBs here. What am I doing? That's funny. Actually, I wonder if I could do a... Yeah, it's just a time saver, really. Yeah, that's what it is. And it helps you learn stuff too, even while you're working with it, because there's stuff that might just be so hard to figure out otherwise. And then once you do it, you're like, oh, if I do it like this, I can do this, you know? So, but yeah, totally your own thing. Do your thing. Let me see here. What if I do this just out of curiosity and do fog to SDF? Ooh, that's funky. No, actually don't even like that. That's really interesting. This is somehow better, but it's blocky. That's the only bad thing about this. It's very blocky. Well, if you wanted like a crazy blocky effect, I guess that's kind of a thing. Yeah, very, very nice to have you, Cammy. Glad you could join us tonight. What if I do this? VDB smooth. I think I can do that on this even. Let's see. No. It's not really doing much of anything here. Yeah. So I guess what you'd have to do is smooth this. So Yeah, you'd have to do something like that there. Or make the, actually that might be the smarter thing to do, is just make this higher resolution. I mean, it's going to take a little longer to calculate, but I think that just adjusted it. Let me see. Because you're seeing the, yeah. So, I mean, you could do that too. Smooth might work just fine. You know, that might be good enough for you. Do a smooth and then do something like a poly reduce, something like that. Do it within a certain quality tolerance. Or you could just do the remesh that we were using before. Fast, not quick. Yeah, poly reduce is great. Agreed. Oh, that's too rough. Yeah, well, you get the idea. There's lots of options here to smooth out your meshes and do all sorts of crazy stuff. Let's see what this looks like just for fun. Let's see, we'll go back to our camera here. We'll just get another M play going. Oh, it's selected. Bummer. Let go. I mean, also with this one, we're just going straight across. So, you know, keep that in mind, I guess. Not sure how much more interesting stuff we could really do with that shape. The volume shape thing. Yeah, again, this is just kind of a linear wipe across. Probably turn it, make it a little more interesting, but we'll just let it do its thing for a second here. Just gonna let it do its thing, get all the way to the end, then we can stop it. Well, I think we're getting kind of close to the end here. Might be a little bit of a shorter one this week, but you know, sometimes that's how it goes. Yeah. I think I like the one that's, oh, sorry. I think I like the procedural one a little bit better. I feel like that's a little bit of a nicer setup, but you know, this is kind of cool. It's quick. Works pretty well. Takes a while to go through all those processing steps for the last few frames. It's like a lot of volumes it's working with there. Yeah, looks good. We'll call it there. Looks pretty good. Yeah, nice. All right, let's see here. Why do we have this erroring? Stop erroring. There we go. No more error. All right. Let me think. Is there anything else I want to do? I don't know. I think that's probably the extent of it. Yeah, I don't really have anything else. If anybody has any questions, certainly happy to answer them or chat for a little bit. But yeah, I think that's starting to be kind of wrapping this up here. Yeah, it was a nice little suggestion, something fairly straightforward to get us started in the year here. And yeah, I think as you go in and adjust things, in the in rendering and stuff like that, you're going to get a lot of different, options and variations that you can get into. Another thing I was kind of thinking that you could do is these more lasers. I've sworn off of lasers for life. The other thing I was thinking that could be possible to do would be to have something procedural, like with the second one that we worked on there, where it was like per letter, but instead of having it drive a VDB that then intersecting with the other VDB, maybe doing it where the attribute was going across like the ice mesh even, and having that like transform it along its normal. So that's actually something that could be done, I guess. Yeah, actually that wouldn't be too hard to do. Maybe we should do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Screw it. We're going to take this and I'm just going to say, I don't know what the word is. I don't know how to, it's like pushing out. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. That's the best word I've got. Yay, more. Yeah. So, okay. So let's try this. So we've got our ice SDF. Let's convert that. I don't think we'll need any of this stuff down here. We won't need that stuff. So we convert it to a polygon, and maybe we turn up the adaptivity actually here. That might be nice. Do it to like 0.1 or something, just the not so many polygons. Okay, so let's do it like this. Let's do okay, now I'm starting to like sort of second guess myself here a little bit, but let me think about this. So I want to have the growth okay. So what I'm going to do is not going to give any spots where it's not sorry. My brain is erasing. Let me think about this. So I want this to grow outwards. Also, why does it seem like my camera keeps doing weird clipping things? Okay. Anyways, Yeah, I want it to like grow along the normal, basically, I think. I think that'll work. Yeah, let's give that a shot. Okay, so we've got this converted. Let's do it like 0.5. We're gonna go even lower. I feel like I'm losing a lot of the detail in it. So let's just do that. And then we can do a really, let's do the fast remesh. I want there to be, oh, lots of stuff in there. Do it 3D. Okay. Do we have a normal attribute? We do. Great. Okay. So we have normal attributes. That's good. Let's see here. So we have this text and let's just take this. We'll get rid of this up here. We don't need that. Let's cut this. Oh, Pup again. Hello. Hi, buddy. I know. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about the banging. I know. He's very excited. He wants me to come play with him, I think. So we're getting close. Anyways. All right, let's yeah, he's been with us for a little over 6 months now, so we're getting used to him. Getting used to each other a little bit, but I think he's pretty happy around here. All right. So I think he gets confused that I'm like talking to nobody. He's like, who are you talking to? Like, talk to me. I'm here. All right. So we've got this. We can do the distance along geometry again, and we'll get our distance. Cool. Great, great, great. Oh, that's interesting. These will actually be connected together. That'll be neat. Okay. So distance along geometry. I think all this should be the exact same. We shouldn't have to worry about anything here. So let's just see what the animation looks like here. Oh, that was weird. Why did it do that? That's so bizarre. It's like, why does it do that? Huh. That's super strange. I don't understand that, but all right. Anyways. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what that's all about. It's probably something goofy going on there, but it's okay. Oh, it's this remap. It's the remap. Where is that? This one here. The max value is, oh, the source range. That's what it is. Got to recompute that. There we go. That's what the problem is. Now it's going to do it. Hooray. Good stuff. Okay. And then P scale, we don't need that. We can just call it, we'll just call it something else like growth. Thanks. I did catch it. I'm very happy about that. Now I'm not bashing my head in trying to figure that out. Okay. So, okay. All of that's good. And then What? Why is it doing that? That doesn't make any sense. Why is it doing that? Okay. I don't understand what geometry am I... Oh, there's an inside surface. That's what's going on. Right. There's an inside surface. If we do like here, if we do this, this should show what I'm saying. There's an inside surface here. Why is there an inside surface? There we go. Okay, did that break anything? Hopefully not. That's the problem. Okay. Let's try that. I was like, that shouldn't be doing that when it's like so tiny. Like, obviously if you go far with it, it's gonna make sense, but like, you should be able to really crunch that down quite a bit. Okay. Let's see. Is that all within it? Maybe. I think so. Oh, except for up there. You jerk. Oh, sorry. That's because that's already been worked. We need to invert that. Wait. Why did that not work? Okay. All right, I'll do an attribute remap, I guess. Do this with mops fall off. Could probably just do that. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Let's make sure that's all well within the text. Yes. In fact, it's probably too far in the text. Could probably just do it like that. Here, we'll just show all objects and then we... Oh, there's a little bit there. You'd have to figure that out, but we'll just call it. Hello? Get away. Channels, remove from channel list. Okay. Anyways. Oh, interesting. Getting some weird errors there. Make sure we're saved. Oh, Leonard again. Oh, hi, bud. Wow, you're really wanting to be part of the stream experience this time. All right, so there's our peak. Oh, right, it's showing. Yep. That makes sense. It's showing all of them, which we don't want it to do. Hi, bud. Hi, dude. Okay. 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 Yep, I know. Now, buddy. Yeah. He's too excited. We're both working in the office right now, so he's just way too excited. All right. All right, let's see here. Yeah, that'll work. So let's take a look at what this looks like here, and then we can color it. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. It's not too bad. It's maybe a little too fast, if anything. Maybe that would change it, right? Yeah, something like that. Let me make another sequence of this, and we can take a look at it here. Yeah, so just a little bit of a different technique there. You know, is what it is, I guess. You can you can try that out and see if that maybe is something that would work for you. It's a little bit more like kind of goofy with it, just like peeking inside. I mean, you could maybe you can maybe create your own like little wrangle or something that might better like have it go into the middle, or maybe if you made like a center spine and had it just go to the minimum distance to that, then have that grow out or something like that. That might be better too, but same difference, pretty similar. So yeah, so there we go. There's our ice growth for today. Yeah, the little session extension. No worries. Yeah, great. Well, I think that is going to wrap up our time here this evening. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining and for being a part of the stream. It's always nice to have you here and chatting and all of that type of thing. So yeah, that's I think that's all we've got for this week. And if you'd like to join the Discord server, I didn't mention that at all. You can go to HoudiniHangout.com, get a Discord server invite, and join up there and ask questions. And a lot of times people come and ask me questions about Solaris and things like that. So it's kind of one of my pretty common questions. Oh yeah, no problem, Maitland. Glad to have you. Yeah, well, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for being here and for chatting and joining in. And I will talk to you all next time. So have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you back here. Actually, you won't see me back here next week because I will be out of town. So sorry, I actually won't be here next week. But you'll hear from me on social media and all that type of stuff when I'm doing the next stream. So have a great night, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.